forever, but not even knowing.
Hi guys, we're back. You've just listened to us bump for 50 minutes about nothing, but we've got Karen. Yay!
That was my fault. That was absolutely my fault. I'm so sorry. And you know what? I went back through the emails and you 100% 8:30 our time, 3:30 your time. And for some reason in my brain, it flip-flopped for some reason. I don't know what that was. It's not uncommon for things to just flip-flop in my mind, but either way, I'm so sorry, but at least you got to talk about something, hopefully WPPI for like an hour,
we privatized that video already because it was just rubbish.
Don't videos, even if you think it's rubbish, I'm sure there's something that somebody could have gotten some value from. So don't ever nix videos.
I don't think anybody would have gained value from anything we just said in that last one. It was just fun, but it's fine. We're here now. This is what we wanted.
Okay, well, I'm here now. I'm so sorry, but at least I'm not. I mean, I don't know. An hour is pretty bad. An hour late is pretty bad, but it could have been a lot worse, and it could have just. And it's so crazy because even now, like my husband just got home. He's going to join us, by the way. Andrew's going to come say hey in just a minute. But like I had a phone call scheduled for right now. So he's handling that for me. I'm telling you, my whole day is like stacked until 8:30. So the fact that I got it twisted, I'm like, well, that's a smooth move, Karen. Good job. You're going to have to figure that one out. But anyways, I'm here now. I'm excited and I'm ready to talk about WPPI.
Amazing. We are so excited to be coming to Vegas and to be in the same place, the same country, the same city, and the same area as you at the same time.
It just hasn't happened up until now, is it?
It's been ridiculous.
I'm so excited. I feel like since I've known you guys, you wanted to come out for something, whether it's WPPI. Yeah, both of you. Yes, yes.
We wanted to do WPPI for so long.
I know. And I think you're going to have a great time. I was telling you just right before this started, there's a little bit of stuff that's changing this year. So I'm very interested to see how, the attendees, like what your experience is. So what exactly did y'all just get like the registration? Are you doing anything extra, photo walks or anything like that?
No. So we've literally just got the seminar classes because we just it was so much there that we were like, we don't want to overboard with everything.
It's too much. And I think that they even allow you to add stuff like once the event has begun. So like if you decide that you want to do like a photo walk or whatever, I think they still allow you to do that at the event, especially if they're not full. So this is the first year, I believe, that a lot of photo walks haven't filled up almost immediately just because, well, there's a couple of reasons why I think this is the case is there's so many photo walks that are very similar to one another this year that I've noticed. So I don't know if they're trying to really, really, really cover this one field of like lighting. I'm not really sure, but there's a lot of them. But the other reason is I've noticed the attendees this year that like over 50% of them are like newer attendees. So they don't even understand exactly how photo walks work, what they are, and just all of the different little things that you can do while at WPPI. So you're doing a super, super smart thing and just kind of going to see, what your body and your brains can deal with. And then, like I said, if you decide to do something else while you're there, I think you still have that ability to do so. So that's exciting. So what are you looking forward to most?
Network, I think.
Yeah.
Just meeting everyone because like that's all everybody says is like it'll change your life.
It does. It really does. And I'm a little partial. So every single one of the conferences has a beautiful purpose. All of them do. You have imaging, you have WPPI, you have Shutterfest, you have smaller things, smaller summits, and they all have their own little purpose. And I have to say, WPPI seems to be a bit more editorial fashion thinking, if that makes any sense at all. I know that sounds crazy, but imaging tends to be a little bit more traditional based, if that makes sense. Whereas WPPI seems to have like a very, very open-minded feel to it. And like I said, this year is a little bit different because they've kind of adopted the Portrait Masters from Sue Bryce as well. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's happening now, though, isn't it?
Yes. So it's kind of merging into this thing, which is what I'm saying. I think that's going to be very interesting to to see how it does this year. But one thing is for sure, you guys know that I'm an ambassador for Fundy, and we always have this blowout party. I mean, I can't drink, but it doesn't matter. I get to invite people. Y'all will have to come with me as my +2s to this party.
Yes.
Because
I mean, the three of us,
party
but we have a +3.
yes. So the parties at WPPI, which we're not there to party, but it's always nice to like let your hair down. You know what I mean? But yes, just getting to see and talk to other business owners. So Andrew and I'm not even gonna be able to tell you what my schedule is right now. However, I do know that we have image reviews a couple of days. And that's actually one of our favorite parts of the entire WPPI conference, because we actually get to sit down one-on-one with these artists. And I'm telling you, it's such a beautiful thing to connect with other artists and just learn. I mean, even though I'm giving them like image critiques or business critique or whatever the case may be, I'm learning from them too, because there's always something we can learn from each other. And it's absolutely beautiful. I love that. So I am so pumped for you guys. And I want y'all to be like taking notes for me, because I want to know, it's been so long since I've been an attendee at a conference that I've kind of gotten used to like the speaking and teaching side. So I would love to know, once this is over, what it was like for you guys as an attendee. Like, you know, how much do you feel like the networking side benefited you? I want to know what that's like for you guys on your end, especially since you're coming so far. When do you leave right after WPPI?
No, so we are staying until the 9th.
Yes, we fly home the Saturday, but we don't lunch back here until Sunday. So yeah, we're making.
Are you going to do
probably
a photograph
a week?
while you're
Yes.
Yes, we have plans.
We have a folder of plans.
I am obsessed with the folder of plans.
We have maps that are color coded. We have mood boards.
Oh my god!
We have go big or go home. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't think
half of our suitcase is filled with silks and gowns.
That's perfect though. So do you already have like some models lined up in place, or are you going to wait till you get there to just kind of?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you need help, connect with me, because I know quite a few people out there. That'll work great for you guys to go out. You have to go to the Salt Flats, but you got to be careful with the timing, because you know, sometimes it gets super, super busy there and kind of overcrowded. Is that one of the places that's on your list to go to?
It's not just because of that reason, because I've seen so many people saying that they were going there. I was like, let's avoid it.
Go there every time. And I'm like, guys, don't you want to go see like other stuff?
Yeah, we wanted to try and kind of do things that we hadn't seen anybody else saying that they wanted to do, only because we didn't want to kind of.
We don't like being the same as everyone. And I get that they all will be doing like lovely things there, and it's Vegas, so you kind of got to do some of the things.
But you don't. You're not here to create the same thing as everybody else. You're not here to do that. So that's why I love y'all so much. That's why, right there, because you are women after my own heart, creating what's in here and what's in here, not what you've seen 18,000 times. No hate, because you know, I know it's fun to like go out and create and, you know, go to a place that you're familiar with. I think a lot of artists really kind of hold back from photographing on their own because they just don't know the area. Whereas with me, I'm like, take me to like the most non-sought out location. And then
Google Maps too often.
Drop me off. Give me, you know, I don't care what you give me. You can give me a dress, you can give me a tossing silk, give me whatever, and then let me create in that space. So, okay, so what day? So you fly in, well, you're flying out tomorrow, which will get you to Vegas when?
We land 8:30 tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening. Okay, so, oh man, the time. Okay, so
well, apparently we land at 8:30 tomorrow evening, but there's like weather warnings that there's high winds. So
yeah, and I'll give you this warning too. I don't know what it is. There's rumors that they like pump oxygen into like all of the hotels and stuff. Once you get there, it doesn't matter how tired you are, you like wake up. I don't know if it's all the lights. I don't know if they really are pumping extra oxygen into the hotels and into the casinos, but like, I don't care. You could be so tired and you get there and you're like, what's up, bitches? I'm here. Like, so excited. And then you just don't sleep. Like, you don't want to sleep.
Oh,
Come say
no.
it. Yeah. So try to, like, I don't know, you might need some Andrew's here.
Hi.
Okay. All right. So I'm telling you, if it wasn't for my brain, I don't know what I would do without him. Cause I'm like, you're going to have to do this call for me, and you're going to have to finish this meeting, and you're going to have to go pick up our daughter, and you're going to have to, his list of to-dos is like constantly adding up.
Okay.
It's never ending. So I was telling you, this is their first time to WPPI. So I
first
told
time
them,
in Vegas.
well, I'm assuming
First time to Vegas. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So that's why I was kind of warning them. I was like, just try to make sure that you give yourself some time, because and I'm telling you this. So WPPI is also one of those conferences where like there is constant.
There's something to do all day, every day, at all times.
Yes. So like there will be
and parties every night.
I told her about the parties. I was like, they need to come to the fundy party with me.
Oh yeah.
We
have no idea what the dress code is going to be for these parties.
Oh,
so
some are pretty.
I mean, you know me. I'm always gonna have my Christian Louboutin shoes and like some form of a dress. And Andrew's always gonna be in his Yves Saint Laurent.
But it's not. Yeah, most of them are not. You don't have to be fancy. No, not the fun day. And there's free drinks. So.
She told me I wasn't allowed to pack my Jimmy Choos. She was like, you can't walk in them, so you're not taking them.
There's no point to having them. She can't walk in them.
Oh, well, if you can't walk
in them, then
that's a safety hazard, but you can sure sit in them and look pretty. I mean, I'm
the
wrong person.
Flip flops and swap them over when
that's what I do. When I teach my classes, I pack my Christian Louboutin shoes in my backpack and I put them on right before my class.
And then she puts them
I feel like I'm gonna have to go and put my Jimmy Choos in.
Yes, I don't want to be a bad influence, but like I'm just saying, if you
bring the Jimmy Choos. See, that's not even me. It's Karen.
Yeah. I'm a bad influence.
I'll be in class next to her.
No, definitely don't walk. I mean, that's the other thing about Vegas too, is that they have
a lot of walking.
Walking to and from your hotel room. Like, so definitely have comfortable shoes for sure. But then I was going to say too, back to kind of talking to you about like making sure that you have time to wind down. So like the biggest mistake that I made for the first couple of years that I was teaching at these large conferences was not making sure that I had time, or that he had time to kind of just shut down, like go to your hotel room and just wind down. Because even after WPPI, like after the expo floor has closed, you'll be networking with photographers and they'll be like, hey, do you want to go photograph at this really cool location? And you'll be like, oh my God, yes. And before you know it, it's 3:00 in the morning. And then you're like, oh man, I feel tired. And then WPPI starts right at night. You know what I mean? So just make sure that you're giving yourself a little bit of downtime. I had to learn the hard way how to do that. So, but no, and as far as dress is concerned, I think the majority of the people there dress very comfortably.
Yeah, it's just casual, comfortable.
Yeah, and like, it's different.
Like for dresses.
Yeah. Just comfortable ones though. Like, so mine are normally like a knit, like they're stretchy and they're breathable. But even still, my purpose, I always take like a touch of fancier clothes, if you will, just because we're meeting with like ambassadors and stuff too.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of a different situation than like just going to a party because you were invited. You know what I mean? But I will give you a heads up, is that the ambassador parties. So like you have the WPPI parties, which are always fun. They give you like a free drink or 2 free drinks, which is always like, my actual favorite thing to do is to people watch. Like, and I love the energy of everyone like kind of feeling good. But then you have the ambassador parties. Now those are a different level. Like they try to get closed down every year. Like they try to like.
Now Fundy's parties always.
Fundy's
they throw the best party of the year.
They really do, and it's beautiful because it's not like a typical party, like what you would think of, like going out and drinking and getting like, hungover. It's parties with creatives. So like you're constantly talking about your dreams, your goals, your visions, your ideas while drinking and having fun. So
and they're very open. There's no cliquish or anything.
No, and that's the beautiful part about it.
Good.
And actually, and that was another thing too that I was going to say about WPPI was that it's just not super clicky. You know, I mean, every conference is gonna have that crowd. They just are.
Yeah.
And what I have found to be true is that a lot of people think that, you know, a certain group of people is being cliquish, when in all actuality, they're just as nervous to come up to you as you are with them. So like, and for somebody like me who doesn't know a stranger, like I'll talk to you about anything at any given point in time. That it's funny because even people that Andrew or even other people were like, oh no, they're super cliquish. Like I'll go in and I'll bust through their little circle and be like, hi, my name's Karen. And they're so nice. They're so nice. Once you get, you know, once you just introduce yourself. So it's one of those things where I'm like, just go with an attitude of being very open with people and like being ready to meet, ready to listen. And suddenly the clicks don't seem to really be that cliquish anymore. But it is true. Like, I think every single conference has like a certain set of people that have known each other for a long time and they're just more comfortable with one another. But really and truthfully, it's not, it could always be worse. Like, you know what I mean? As far as the clicks go. And I like to be pretty honest about that stuff because I don't like clicks. I don't think that they should exist in any industry, let alone a creative field. But the reality is that they do exist. So like for the most part, though, I've noticed that it's other people just being afraid to like introduce themselves. And so if you can kind of relax yourself enough to be, fortunately, I'm a pretty relaxed person. I can talk to anybody. So I don't have that issue. But like, you know, with Andrew is kind of more of like the sit back and watch people. And I think people sometimes get the wrong idea about him because he's not introverted, but he's just very quiet. He likes to observe people. And then once you come up to him, though, he's the kindest, sweetest man in the world. But it's just like, and I'm sure the beard probably doesn't help. They probably think you're like a monster. But like
Christy, she's got resting bitch face, so everyone thinks that she's horrible, and then they speak to her and they realize that she's not that bad.
I can't help my face.
See, and I would have never pegged you for that ever in a million years. And that's why I'm saying like people's perspectives are just so different. You know, just normally it's from inside, like it's their own worry or concern about, oh, I don't want to go up to this person but you really can. And I encourage every artist that's there to like kind of branch out.
My first time I went up and just introduced myself to any and every, I went up to like Lindsay Adler. I was going up to everybody.
Oh yeah, he sure did.
You sure did. The first time speaker, I was introducing myself to all the speakers.
Well, actually, we didn't meet Lindsay Adler until like the second or third time we spoke.
I was in the speaker room. I went and introduced myself.
Yeah, you sure did. And she actually followed me back on Instagram that day. I didn't even get to meet her. She's over here being like a social butterfly. And I'm like, you know, trying to pack stuff up for my class or whatever. I don't even know why I wasn't with you that time.
You were in there. I think you were off on the other side or something. I don't know.
Talking to somebody else.
I just went up and talked to her because
and he was like, "Hey, that's my wife over there. You know, we love Canon." Like, you know, I don't even know what exactly went down in that conversation, but either way. And then Lindsay Adler followed me back like 30 minutes later, and I was like, "Oh." So yeah, it's just one of those things where like I think as long as you have an open mind, just go up and meet with people. If you
want to meet someone, meet them.
Yeah. So I'm so excited.
I think this happened in Society Show the other week, didn't it? So there was a show in London that we went to a few weeks ago, and Kelly Brown was sat in the cafe that we were sat in because she had been speaking there. And Christy was like, "Oh my God, that's Kelly Brown. Oh my God, that's Kelly Brown."
People do that.
I need a selfie. I was like, I need to just go over and ask her for a selfie. She went, "Don't be rude. She's speaking to her friend." I was like, I'm just going to ask her for one. And she was lovely. And we had a selfie. And I was very happy about that.
That's what I'm saying. And I think people,
they see us.
They really get wrapped up into like
oh, this big person and I don't want to bother her, but you should just speak.
And the thing is like we as speakers and teachers, well, I know from my point of view, like I don't view myself as like anything special. No. And the majority of the speakers and teachers don't like, and I think it's more so on the photographers who aren't speaking and teaching, or the photographers maybe who are newer that just have this reservation about reaching out to people, but it's really not that way. And WPPI, even this year, they were telling me how important it was to them to like keep the lineup fresh and to try to keep speakers and teachers just new and have new topics. And I think that that's a beautiful thing to a degree because, you know, we want to learn from people who can actually benefit the industry as a whole, no matter where they come from, no matter how long they've been in business, no matter, you know what I mean? So I think just I don't even really, in all honesty, I don't even really, me and Andrew both have like speaker badges, and I hate it. I'll flip mine around because I don't want people to know that I'm a speaker, just because I don't want people to be afraid to ask or get to know either one of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that era of that, well, that mindset of like, oh, I could never go and talk. That's, people are speaking because they have something that they can bring to the industry for the most part. You know what I mean? For the most part, people are because they have something to bring to the industry that's helpful. They've recognized, they run successful businesses, but they're still people. They still have hard days just like the rest of us do. It's just another person. So the more you can just talk and get to know people, the better off everyone is, because, and especially y'all, I mean,
go meet all the vendors.
The vendors is probably one of the best parts to me. I mean, it's not that the classes don't provide value, because they definitely do, but I mean, it's building those relationships with those vendors and just, you know, getting to know other photographers that maybe are in a different field than you, but getting to learn like their side of business. It's so invaluable. Like you just, it's a lot. It's a lot to soak up and take in.
Say, like last year we talked with Stella Pro, you wouldn't have like your underwater lights if you didn't just go to a vendor and find out that their white lights worked underwater.
Yes. And like I'm working on becoming an ambassador for them because, well, with underwater portraiture, it's a little bit different. So the lighting underwater is a little tricky. And it wasn't until we started like walking around and I happened to see, or you happened to see a video of somebody taking it underwater. And we were like, wait. It
wasn't a strobe, it was a constant, which we hadn't really seen, like a lot of constant. And it could be used on land and underwater. So we're like, what is this?
And sure enough, we went up and I bought those lights like that day, or maybe it was the day following. Either way, it didn't matter, because the relationship that I developed from buying my lights from them, it has now provided an opportunity to become an ambassador. So, I mean, it's relationships like that really can help with our businesses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I am tickled. They already have some, well, that was going to be my question for you guys. When do you plan to go out to photograph? What day? Do you have a day?
Thursday afternoon, evening, and Friday, was it?
Yeah, so Thursday we're just filming content for ourselves, for bits and pieces for like YouTube and stuff. And then Friday we're doing actual
maternity sessions.
Yes.
I love that. Gosh, I just love y'all so much. Y'all are so driven.
We're vlogging every day as well. Fingers crossed, we're vlogging every day. I'm going to try and upload every day.
Good.
Because I am going to have to do it while I'm in WPPI.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, it's not that it's impossible. You just have to prioritize how the day, you know what I mean?
I know that I'm going to have to take a lot of breaks because of my condition. I've got Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, so I know I'm going to be doing lots of breaks. So that means I can sit in my bed and edit. So
are they coming like with the Portrait Masters part, or are they doing
so that's what I was asking them,
because it's a little different this year.
I was telling both of them that the schedule this year is a little bit different than what it has been in the past.
Because WPPI bought Portrait Masters.
Yes.
They kind of mixed it up a little bit. So
I'll be honest with you, I'm not super pleased with how they're trying to mix them. It's a little
changed quite a few times, wasn't it, in the last couple of weeks?
Yes and no. So the management has definitely changed. They stopped doing image competitions because I'll be honest with you, that needed a facelift.
They had issues the last time they did it. There were severe issues, but that was okay.
It was 3 years ago was the last time they did it.
Because they lost control.
It became almost too much for them to handle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of people got really irritated when they stopped doing the image competition.
But it was okay. They needed to stop it because they were not
doing it well. Yeah. I was not upset about it because, like, you know, that's a typical business move. If something isn't working, you got to stop it and reevaluate, you know? So they stopped that. Then there was another management shift. And then last year was the last year before they integrated the Portrait Masters. So
we're new because we haven't worked with Super Ice or anything in the Portrait Masters. So.
We haven't. Like the Portrait Masters is kind of foreign to me a little bit because they've shared my work before.
But we've never spoken for them or done any.
Yeah, like I've never had a whole lot to do with the actual learning system itself.
Yeah.
So I'm very intrigued to see.
Because WPPI used to have last year they had like a summit. They had like a newborn summit, a boudoir summit, a wedding summit. They did all their summits on Sunday, but they've changed. They took all those away, and it's all the portrait masters classes, I think, on Monday.
Yeah, Sunday and Monday. So I am intrigued to see like how much of that has to do with like the attendance at WPPI in general. Like, you know, if people are coming for the portrait masters part, and then if they're going to continue to go to the WPPI part, or if they're just going to, you know, call it a day and be like, the portrait masters, I was just here for that. And
because there's a lot. Like, I just know the schedule.
That's really intense, isn't it? The masters.
They have a lot scheduled. Like, there's a lot to choose from, which can be good, but to me can be bad because you don't.
It's overwhelming.
It's a little overwhelming for a lot of people, but we'll see. So.
Yeah. So and that's what I was telling them, just on the WPPI side, like, take notes for me, because I want to know from their perspective
if it was too much.
If it was, like, you know, if it was, we may have to. Well, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but we may have to do like a touch up live again just to see what your perspective was, so that I can know. You know what I mean?
One of the things we're doing too, again, because they always offered it, was image reviews. And image critiques. Now it's for people that are part of the portrait masters only. They're doing it, but they're not only doing image critiques. They're doing like business mentoring and mentoring. They added that part in there, which is kind of cool.
I love that.
A lot of people, they end up not talking to me, because when I did image reviews, they ended up more talking business than they ended up talking about it. I was like, okay, this is actually kind of a good idea, because more people want to learn business sometimes than just me look over their images.
Honestly, I think that's just me and you, though, because we could sit there. We know that our job is to review image portfolios. We know it. Yeah. But when we sit down, it is like second nature for me to be like, so how is business going for you? Like, it just is. And like, I shouldn't ask that question, because I'm specifically supposed to be looking at their images and telling them, oh man, I can't see this hand, and it looks like, you know, pull the elbow out. I do that, but then I always, like, it's just in my blood to ask how they're doing as an artist and their business. And I would say almost 100% of the time, we end up talking about business. So
because I don't want to be an image judge, because a lot of times I'm like, I know they want to look for like images that are supposed to be for competition, but
WPPI isn't even doing competition.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't want to like review your images for competition when that's not even.
No, and then not only that, but like, art is very subjective.
And like, I was going to say that, and like looking at something for a competition, like there's been images, and we were like, well, that's not. They've been like rated a certain way, and we're like, oh, that's.
And we've asked for feedback off the people who are judging them, whatever, and they've gone, and they can't give you anything solid. They just like, well,
we're not
you used Liquify on that, and I was like, I haven't used Liquify on that. That's I can show you the raw image, and they're like, oh right, and they can't tell me what's wrong with it.
No,
yeah, it can be weird. Like, I remember one time I saw one, I was like, the lighting was dope. It was done on purpose. It's coming down.
You said that out loud in the class.
But then they're like,
I mean, in the judging.
But then they're like, we don't like the lighting because it wasn't right. I was like, but the person did the lighting on purpose like this.
Yeah. So it was a half shadow that cast down, and her eyes were completely blacked out.
You could tell it was on purpose.
Her nose and her lips were beautifully in focus, and Andrew was like, oh no, like he was out loud, like boo, rescore, like retest, because he was like, this was obviously.
I bet they love that.
Oh,
I was like, it was meant to be photographed like this way. They didn't mess up their lighting. They shot it like this on purpose.
Yeah. You can always count on him to be the one to stir something up.
Yeah. Probably.
But I mean, honestly, sometimes it needs to be said, though. That's the thing, is that I do think that they're just in the photography industry as a whole, not necessarily geared to just WPPI. There is this almost mentality that like, oh, I'm the judge. You can't tell me, like, I know what's right and what's wrong. Whereas again, we all need to keep ourselves in check and be like, no, you need to listen to what he's saying, because he's bringing some valid points to the table. And so the judging, Andrew and I have never been huge fans of competitions, and that's a personal choice. So like there's diehards out there who love them. I can tell you for sure that like imaging is probably my least favorite. Is it imaging or PPA?
They're together. PPA,
I mean, I know they're
PPA
together.
owns imaging.
I know they're together, but is it the competition with imaging?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the PPA has their separate competitions within their own divisions,
right,
states and all that junk.
Okay, so with imaging, and this was years ago. I was speaking. It wasn't a conference. It was like an all-day class.
You did like a big workshop. They flew you out to Boston.
Yeah,
and you did a maternity workshop for like 40 people.
And this was years ago, and we ended up having dinner with the people on the board
for
PPA.
PPA for that
district.
District.
Yeah. And so I was just chatting with them, as I always do. And
they were drinking, so they were probably saying things.
And they were drinking. We were just having a relaxed time, no judgment. No, I was totally fine. And so I was like, can y'all just tell me the whole image competition, what's going on there? I was like, because I have held back from entering for a couple of reasons. I entered smaller competitions, but even then it seemed very almost participation award. It's either they're judging you really, really harshly on things that were done on purpose and they don't realize it was done on purpose, or it's you have a competition that everyone gets an award for.
Or the judges know who took that.
Yeah.
They say they're not biased, but everyone knows who took that.
Yeah. So it's kind of political a little bit, but I think there are truly benefits if
there's feedback
can actually give you feedback. So I was
happens sometimes.
Yeah. And I was talking to these older guys that have they've been on the board for years. And I was like, tell me about the image competition. How does that work? And he was like, oh, I can go lone every single year. And I'm like, so you're telling me there's a specific style they're looking for? And he's like, well, no, I didn't say that. And I'm like, well, you just said if you could create it.
Like, I know exactly what you got to do to get lone and shoot it. It really is a specific.
So I was like, that's a specific style that they're looking for. And so what I have noticed was that imaging was very traditional with even their image competitions. And then you have WPPI, which when they were hosting their image or their print competitions, it seemed like they were significantly more open to a creative style, which I loved. I loved that so much. It didn't look like, an oil painting from the 1960s. So
it wasn't the painterly look, which was pretty much.
And so I love that about WPPI. So now I'm intrigued to see how WPPI kind of not only is taking on the Portrait Masters while still trying to be its own thing, but also if they even do try to integrate competitions, because Sue Bryce, the Portrait Masters, they have an image competition,
which they'll probably integrate WPPI once they can figure it out.
So I'm very intrigued to see how that goes. But yeah, we're not the biggest fans of print competition, and this is just us being totally honest. We don't care if people love it or hate it. You do you. Just for us, we just never really got a good benefit. You know what I mean? We never really got a good If my image ever scored really poorly, okay, tell me why. They could never tell me. There was not even okay, this is overly photoshopped or not photoshopped, or they couldn't even give you any technical reason as to why negative space, no negative space. There was nothing there. It was just the story didn't make sense. And I'm like, well, that's debatable because there's a story there for me. You know what I mean? So we've never really been fans of it. We think it's a little political, which happens in every industry. So we can't joke and kid about that. No, it's not politically inclined. Yes, it is. We're not going to lie about that. It is. But I'm intrigued to see how the Portrait Masters and WPPI really kind of flow together this year. Yeah, it is a lot. We were looking at the schedule and we were like,
I was like, that is a whole lot going on, but it may be good. So we'll see.
Well, and we already know that conferences are, any conference, doesn't matter which one it is, they are slam packed. Yeah. Whether you're teaching, attending, whatever it is,
there's something to do. So if you're attending, you got something
all the time. You have something to do all the time. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, I'm just curious to see. It's almost like they're trying to combine two entirely different workshops together. So you guys will have to be our behind the scenes, taking a detective.
Because this is a brand new year.
We're vlogging everything. So we'll
have footage of everything.
You will, yeah.
And I'm a terrible liar, so you'll know exactly when I'm telling the truth.
I love that so much.
I can't wait to hear that.
And like Andrew said, this is kind of like a brand new year, a brand new conference for even us. So, we're kind of keeping our eyes and our ears to the floor just to kind of see the general air of how things are working, So we'll see how it goes. We're excited, of course. Anytime we get to talk and, help people with their businesses, I mean, that's a win in my book. You know what I mean? So I'm excited. I can't wait to get there. I am thrilled. I have to see you guys. We're going to have to
when are you flying in?
So we fly in
Sunday. We'll be there. Our flight will be there at 11 a.m. whatever time Vegas time is.
East Coast time. Yeah. So
okay.
I mean West Coast time. Sorry, West.
Whatever time Vegas time is, 11 a.m. will be there.
Me getting 3:30 and 8:30 switched. West Coast and East Coast switch. I told you.
I leave here we leave here at 6.
I told them we had an early flight.
It'll be like 11 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. in Vegas whenever we land.
I mean, the good thing is that like we get a few extra hours. So like if we want to go lay down, well, you know what? Like
I'll probably go
with him and with me. First of all, we aren't morning people at all. So that's why Vegas jacks us up so bad, because not only are we 3 hours behind, but we stay up till like 3 a.m. anyways. So now we're staying up to like 6 a.m. our time when we go to Vegas. So I always have to.
What time do we land our time?
So yeah,
it's 8:30 Vegas time we land.
It'd be like 4:30 in the morning.
4:30 in the morning for us.
Yeah.
It's 8-hour time difference is going to be.
Probably go to bed, take a little nap.
Yeah, I was going to say, take a nap. Try not to. I don't know. That's tough to try to.
It's hard to readjust the schedule. And you only have when you have a week and the jet lag, and it's just even 3 hours messes me up. So I can imagine you guys.
Oh, it's going to be awful.
But I'm so excited.
Vegas on the key.
No, we're gonna have a blast.
You gotta walk the strip though while you're there.
You do.
Yeah.
And
go hit Caesars. Go look at the mall.
Don't tell them to go look at the mall, or if you do.
Okay,
nice.
Obviously. You're not gonna get rid of us. You're gonna be joined at the hip.
I purposely try to avoid the
Caesars
shopping
has the best mall
because I don't want to have to carry a bunch of stuff home. But they do have the best like Christian Louboutin store there. So like not always, but I typically go in there and get me a pair of shoes. But we'll see. Yes. So I'm so excited. I'm excited to see y'all. We have to actually sit down and chat. Please. It would be so much fun.
Name time and place and we will be there.
Awesome. I will.
If you love tacos, do y'all? They have El Gordo's.
Well, I think I was telling them about El Gordo's. Did I tell you about the restaurants there?
No.
Oh,
we will have to.
It's underrated, but it's the best taco you'll ever have in your life.
I'm gonna have to give you like a list.
Actually, it's not underrated as well, but it's the best taco.
No, because actually, when I was getting my hair done today, I was talking about it, and they didn't know about it either. Yeah. So they were like, "Oh, well,
everyone who goes to Vegas goes to El Gordo's."
If you like Mexican food, it's authentic Mexican food. Oh. To die for. And then they have the lobster. Anyways, we could talk about that so that when we get together.
Food is good.
The food is actually really good. And I'm excited about that. That's like one of the things that I look forward to. Like as soon as we land, we go to El Gordo. Like every time.
We've been watching like so many vlogs, haven't we? But like where we're going to eat, we're like, right, we need to plan this out because like there's too many nice places that we need to go and find.
Yes, that's perfect. We go when we land and we go right before we leave. Like that's our El Gordo's like travel to go to. Like when we went land,
I think I look forward to one
of the biggest things that we look forward to for sure, which is it's a little sad, but that's how good the food is.
So I'm very excited for this.
Yes. So do y'all have any questions for us about this year with WPPI?
I mean, we did, but I can't remember any of them now. You've probably covered them all in what we've been talking about anyway. It was just general. What could we expect, and what are you excited about, guys? Apart from your Mexican food.
So number one is helping people.
Yeah, just seeing everyone,
helping other artists. And I'll be honest with you, even though like the classes, you reach a lot of people with classes, but I actually like the smaller stuff. So what I mean by that is like after a class has ended and I'm walking back to my hotel room to dump my stuff down and somebody snags us, those are the moments that I actually, that's when you help somebody the most. And those are the moments that I live for, because you can tell
that someone took the time to pull you aside. They weren't scared. And they're like, hey, did you actually?
Yeah. And that's happened every single time after every single class. And
we're always
many times tears are shed, like, cause it's such a moving, like emotion to meet with someone and hear the stories or hear that we've helped someone or inspired someone. Like that's
the best part.
Yeah. That makes my heart the happiest out of everything, because you never know, like, so our classes always do really, really well. Like, I mean, you guys know, you've seen my Instagram, like the classes get insanely filled and it's beautiful and it's wonderful, but you never know how much you're actually like affecting anyone. You know what I mean? And that's the whole reason that we speak and teach, because, you know, speaking and teaching, and if I'm being honest, which I always will be as much as I can, photographing for a client is going to pay more all day of the week. Like, you know what I mean? If I was to just stay at home and fill that week up with clients, I would make 10 times what I make speaking and teaching. But I don't do it for that purpose. It's almost like I want to, it's kind of like charity a little bit. I mean, we do get paid, but it's nothing like working for my clients. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like a break in my mind, just a refresher in my mind as to why I continue to speak and teach, why Andrew continues to speak and or teach or do image reviews or whatever it is that you sign up for. Just because that's, to me, I like to know that I'm not getting up there for nothing. You know what I mean? Or that most of the time, the people that snag me, like they'll come to a class, or they'll make like the end of a class or whatever it is. Cause like I said, people are running around like crazy, and then it's not until afterwards, and they will wait for you. So,
I mean, we've been kicked out of
we get kicked out of the room every single time. Every single time we have to have the staff or the volunteers come in and say, hey, you guys need to go. And even last year we had the security people come out and they said, you need to get out of the hallway because they can hear you from inside. So I'm like, and you know, that's my fault. I'm super loud and I get super passionate, but it's those moments that make it worth it. You know what I mean? Because teaching, speaking and teaching, a lot of artists and photographers have kind of started to fluctuate into wanting to speak and teach over the last couple of years. And I think that's just because, you know, the economy's changing. They may not be booking as many clients, so they're looking for another like source of revenue to come in.
They don't understand. It's a totally different beast.
They have no idea that speaking and teaching is not what a lot of people make it seem to be. So speaking and teaching, you really have to have the patience, the energy, the time, the care. Yeah. And the passion to be able to want to help other artists, because it's a totally different beast. You don't get time to really wind down, which I was telling you, I learned in the beginning, like I really have to set windows to like, just everyone should honestly go back to the room, just have silence.
Of course, they got infinite coffee everywhere. And like she said, you'll feel like you could be awake all day if you want.
You will. Me and you, I don't think me and you slept but like 6 hours total the first time we went to Vegas.
Funny thing is, I've never even gambled. I've been to Vegas so many times. I've never gambled once.
Well, I feel like it would be something that you would like.
She says I
would
get addicted to it. So I never started. I think you'll probably be addicted to it. So I've never done it. I've never gambled.
But I think that's, well, for me, that's definitely my favorite part is being able to just, even if it's just one person, like just one person out of these hundreds,
you'll remember it.
You can actually see in their eyes and in their mind that you've helped them with anything. That's what I'm excited about. And then the second thing that I get excited about is that I like learning. I like learning from other artists. I like being able to be a sponge and just kind of listen.
Because as speakers, we can just pretty much go drop in anywhere.
Well, and it's less like the other classes. And I don't want that to sound bad. It's not that I don't have an interest in learning from the other speakers and teachers, because I do. But I like to be around like the expo floor. That's where I really learn so much, just from other businesses' perspectives. And like, you know, just networking with them is it helps me learn how I can be better as a business owner. So it's always a learning experience, and it's always an area, a room for growth. You know what I mean? But I think those are my two favorite things for sure. Yeah. And then third would be food. Yeah.
Tacos.
I'm really excited with these tacos.
They're awesome. I'm telling you, they make their own, well, I'm not even going to get into it, but they make their own sauces, and it's so good. I want to bring my kids. One of these days, I'm going to bring my children, because I every time I come home, I'm like, I wish I could just package them and bring them home, because they're so good. It's terrible because you crave them for an entire year, and then you get one chance to get them. It's horrible.
This is what I'm like with. This is going to sound ridiculous to you, but this is what I'm like with Minute Maid lemonade, because I cannot get it in this country.
If I hear about Minute Maid lemonade one more time,
so every time I go to the US, I'm like, get all of the Minute Maid lemonade, because I can't get it anywhere else.
Got you.
Stock up on it.
That's like when we go to Bahamas and they have the
Goombay punch.
They have this punch in the Bahamas. It's a soda. but they don't sell it in America,
I don't know why.
But we'll go there. We'll buy like a bunch of cases and just pack them in our suitcase to go home.
Minute Maid. That's so crazy.
Funny.
I can't believe that they don't have that where you guys are.
It's got to be something. There's got to be an ingredient that they can't sell in the UK, because even the American candy stores that they have everywhere over here will not stock it.
Sugary something.
Anyway.
Gotta love the Americans that are just, put.
I don't even see what it is.
Hey, but it's delicious.
What it is. I absolutely love it, so I don't care. It hasn't killed me yet. So.
You know what? It's okay. You can have your guilty pleasure. We all have something, so it's okay. So you know what? You stock up on that Minute Maid. You do. But yeah, no, it's gonna be great. We're gonna have a good time.
We better at least see you Monday night though at the Fundy thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
One night is in Monday night. Yeah,
Monday night.
Yeah.
You gotta be there Monday night. Yeah.
Well, they see me on Instagram posting stuff too, so like I'll just send them the invite too.
Yeah, when you guys posted about it, Abigail literally sent it straight to me. Oh my God, have you seen this yet? So yeah, we're there.
With it.
And we both have free drinks to give away. So
we sure do.
if not, I'll drink them myself. I'll drink her drinks. I'll drink everybody.
I don't.
That's what happens with me, because Abigail doesn't drink because of her medication. She can't. I have her free drinks.
So Abigail, how are you feeling? Just I mean, I know you must be doing okay to travel now.
I'm fine. I'm
good.
It's okay.
Good. Okay.
Good, I am going to pre-warn you. I've got a mobility scooter for the time we're there. I'm going to use it as little as possible, but I've got one, because otherwise I'm like,
she wouldn't make it through the week.
I would.
It's a lot of walking. Like I said, the walking is insane.
But and I
judge somebody else is laughing at me, but I'm gonna be there doing my wheelies.
Because she told me she was going to wear a sun visor and have a little cup for her quarters. I was like, no, it's not happening.
but I'm curious though, like, don't be, as women, and not to exclude men, but typically women tend to push themselves a little too hard sometimes. So don't do that.
No, don't underestimate the walking, because the walking is serious.
And with him too, since he started having seizures a while ago, I have to, like, we have to set limits on ourselves. We just do.
Yeah,
so
I gotta rest.
Yeah. So don't push yourself. If you have it, utilize it. I know you probably, I know it can feel
I'd rather not be on it, but like, it is what it is at this point.
Exactly. And your health is going to trump everything else. So, just be safe. Know that it is a crap ton.
And you're not going to enjoy it. If you get halfway through the week and start falling apart, you're not going to enjoy it. So
pace yourself.
Exactly. So, like, shit, if it was me, I would be using that damn scooter all the time, just because it's a lot of walking, and I love walking.
I said, do I fit on it with that?
Yeah.
Am I going to ride on the back?
Let me sit in the basket.
That's bad for the Mirage, because they used to have it. Where they used to have it, the walking used to be even worse.
No, what's that when we stayed at the Luxor?
The Luxor. Oh yeah, what was that? The Luxor.
We had it was so much walking, it was insane.
Yeah, the Mirage is much better. It's a lot of walking, but it used to be at the Luxor, and that one was not at the Luxor. We had to stay at the Luxor, but it was had to take a train to the hotel next to it.
I don't remember what it was.
Something bad.
Either way, it's always a lot of walking.
But
so just take care of yourself for sure. Yeah. And then I was trying to think too if there was anything else, any other tips we could give them. They seem pretty open-minded though. So like they're going, I think you missed this part. They just registered for WPPI, so they don't have any, as of right now, they don't have any added events in there. So I told them, to just kind of keep their ear to the ground and just see how it rolls with them. You know what I mean? And with this being your first year, it's going to feel overwhelming, but just keep an open mind.
Yeah.
And we wanted to prioritize shooting for ourselves as well, didn't we? We want to, because we're there. It's like, it's an opportunity we can't pass by. We need to do some shooting for ourselves.
Yeah. And I'll tell you right now, if y'all ever need any help on your sessions, let me come along and help you, because
oh my God, you can come.
We shot right outside.
Let me help you, because
right outside the Mirage last year.
No, but they have a similar mindset as me. They don't want to photograph at the same damn place.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can go anywhere.
And I love that about them, because everyone goes to and it's not that there's anything wrong.
Everyone goes to the desert,
the salt flats. Yeah. And it's not that it's bad, because the images are amazing, but it's like, it's the same. It's the same. So if y'all need help, let me come help you, so that way, it would be fun anyways, just to kind of be able to help you guys. Y'all have been on this journey for a long time. I feel like, I don't, how long have we known each other? Years, right? few years.
Yeah. I think it was 2021 we did our mentorship with you.
Nice.
Okay.
It was. Yeah. So like 3 years.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's what I'm saying. It would just be so fun to kind of get to see behind the scenes of you guys working and, you know, just being a part of your process. I would love to do that. So, yeah. So let me know if you need help. I don't want to impose, but if you need help, let me know.
You're more than welcome to come.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And I
think we are going to have to wrap it up though, guys, because it is 20 past 10 here and we have got to get our flight in the morning. We would speak to you all night if we could.
Yeah, we would just keep going forever.
We will see you on Sunday.
Say, okay, Karen, enough is enough. But y'all have safe travels. We will see you.
You too.
Monday-ish. Yeah.
I'll drop you a message.
Safe travels and get a good night's rest.
Adios.
Bye. See you soon.
Bye. See you.